Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back.
So, guys, I didn't really intend on doing this because we have a busy day with people today, and we did get 2 videos up already, but I just want to share this because, it is what it is. And here you see this is Jack Posivic saying Biden says the U.S. 82nd Airborne, that's in Poland right now, is going to see certain conditions in the Ukraine when they get there. When they get there. Do they have somebody in office right now that feels like they are so mentally not there, whether it's dementia setting in or what have you, that when things like this come out, they could just kind of put it into everybody's mind. Hey, he's just an old guy. He's got dementia. He doesn't even know what he's talking about.
Right. So it just kind of makes it easy to dismiss him sometimes.
Incredible. And you're going to see when you're there, some of you have been there, you're going to see women, young people stand in the middle of front of the damn tank, just saying, I'm not leaving. I'm holding my ground. They're incredible. And you're going to see when you're there, some of you have been there, you're going to see women, young people stand in the middle of front of the damn tank, just saying, I'm not leaving. I'm holding my ground. They're incredible. And you're going to see when you're there, some of you have been there, you're going to see women, young people stand in the middle of front of the damn tank, just saying, I'm not leaving. I'm holding my ground. They're incredible.
So what can you say? Is he does babble. He absolutely babbles and is so often incoherent. So will people just say, oh, well, what can you say? It's our senile president.
I know. And that's what we have to do these days is just talk about him as if he's not senile, but he is.
And by the way, as you see this quote, Joe Biden took 5 deferments during Vietnam, more than even Mitt Romney. Because we were talking about the draft coming. They already are laying out the groundwork for the draft and talking about conscientious objectors. Well, he obviously has no problems with war. I don't think Mitt Romney does either, but they just don't want to get out there and do it themselves. No, this is the same as the old days. Different kings would battle amongst each other, and then they'd spare each other usually, not always. And then they'd go raise a new army with new peasants to go do their fighting for them. It's got to get to the point where people wake up and say, okay, we know what's going on, but still you got people that are just volunteering because they think it's the best thing they can do. I saw a post yesterday where somebody said, oh, it's too bad we don't have involuntary conscription where everybody has to serve 2 years. And it just makes me shake my head and say, wow, this person doesn't have a clue. They just don't have a clue because it's in their mind that they're doing something good. What really were we doing in Afghanistan besides, controlling some resources? Just think about the big pharma industry and what grows in Afghanistan more than anywhere on the globe.
The thing that I can say to that, though, is that inherently human beings, they do want to do what they think is right. So that we definitely have going for us. It's just, we just need to, kind of get past a few more hurdles and we're going to be fine.
Well, that's what they bank on. People think that you're doing what's right. You volunteer because, you're maybe some of your family spent careers in the military. And, that's the case on my mother's side. As, my grandfather, he was in there since the time he was 16 till in his 50s. And in fact, he only lived a couple years when he got out. doesn't mean that we have to keep doing the same things over, especially now because it's the apocalypse. Everything's being revealed. We could see what's really going on here. It's very sad. It's very, very, very sad that people are carrying out the will of these dark, dark energies that control the globe. And somebody on the last video that went up on Evolutionary said, don't you think what Russia's doing is bad? It's recognizing that all the pieces are basically being played by the same group. Mm-hmm. And until we recognize that, we're not really out of the system and awake. If we still think in terms of they're the bad guys, we're the good guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's that, that good bad paradigm that's always on, and we have to realize that as long as we're cheering for an entity that is part of the system, we're not quite there.
And so we see a Houthi missile hits the Aramco oil facility in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. This is the same one that was targeted earlier. Bulk storage, gas shortages, oil shortages. Here you go. What purpose is the war serving? Well, really, it's all about commodities, resources. It's all about, the sales of military hardware and equipment. As all this stuff is getting used, they're going to have to order more to replace it. Not only more to replace it, but as long as the fear is there of bigger wars, you're going to have to keep building your inventory. Oh, we need to immediately spend so much more money on weapons of mass destruction. When humanity wakes up and realizes that humanity's been pitted against humanity for the benefit of the few and to keep us constantly in this never-ending loop of destruction, that's when we'll get out of the dark age.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and it'll be a beautiful time. It's going to hit a lot of people all at once. So we just have to keep putting that in our minds, what we want to see happen and moving forward.
And so this is an article that talks about the BlackRock CEO, who happens to also be part of the WEF. That we mentioned him earlier, Larry Fink. Oh, Cindy's cringing. Yeah, because the draconian energy here is so, so strong. And when you start to recognize some of the real powers behind the situation that we find ourselves in, the ones that are really manipulating things, this is somebody that's really up there pretty high. He was actually rated, I think, 28th on the list of most influential people on the globe. BlackRock is pretty damn black when you get down to it. It's pretty draconian, pretty dark, and super profitable. And he is the CEO and chairman of BlackRock, the world's largest investment firm with $10 trillion in assets. We were just talking about this. This firm has at least a partial ownership of almost every major corporation in the world, including big media and big tech. And he plays a key role at Klaus Schwab's World Economic Forum, where he's a member of the board of trustees, listed as one of the top agenda contributors. This is somebody really to look at a higher degree. He also sits on top of the board of directors for the Council on Foreign Relations. How is that possible? How is that possible that you have somebody with so much power and influence in the corporate world that's supposed to be forming positive relations across the globe when, again, this is all an insider's game. Those in the know in our own Congress take advantage of the conditions by basically investing in these, military-based companies right before a conflict gets going. And they benefit tremendously for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult. It's this energy that they perceive that has power is what is ruling their hearts, but again, this is just something that we have to acknowledge, understand where we stand in life so we can go opposite of this.
Sits on the board of the International Rescue Committee, one of 9 private agencies that works to funnel refugees into North America and Europe, mostly from countries that the Council on Foreign Relations trained diplomats and Pentagon help to destabilize with wars and revolutions. There's all these different layers of profit that can be attributed to these conflicts. And it also allows them to consolidate power, to deeply entrench themselves in all forms of our life that we don't even realize. He controls trillions of dollars in investment money, sits on top of all the key globalist boards. And I'll give you guys all the links to this because he's talking about how everybody else, the peasants, however you want to word it, the serfs, the slaves, according to the Anunnaki, you're going to have to change your behaviors. Eating lentils on a good day, eating bugs on a bad day. Meanwhile, he's going to have caviar. He's going to have the champagne, and he's going to have the big fat steaks.
And he's not going to mind doing any of it.
No, and this is what is planned. As he says, behaviors are going to have to change, and this is one thing we're asking companies. You have to force behaviors. And at BlackRock, we are forcing behaviors. Oh, seems like he's having some consultation with the Canadian leader, doesn't it? And maybe the French leader. Oh, well, they're also associated with the WEF, aren't they? How about the California? Yeah, Gov. Oh, yeah, he's a WEF. This is all part of a club, so to speak, that are really controlling things. And they're using quote-unquote capitalism. Capitalism, yeah. Not in the sense of truly capitalism where anybody is free to climb all your way to the top. When you get up into notability, these groups take a look at you. They'll try to recruit you. And, if you don't go along with that, well, we'll just let you think about that. So here's his wiki, and the other thing you find is that this is also intertwined, completely intertwined. When we look at BlackRock and Vanguard, same shady people that own big FARMA and the media. So when the media seems to have an agenda, it's because they do. It's pretty much that simple.
Yes, it sure is. It is, yep.
And when there's money to be made, trillions, billions and trillions to be made on certain sicknesses out there, certain plagues, who is going to have a hand in this. So this is part of that great unveiling. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. And while we're able to, we want to thank you for your support over at Patreon, also on Ko-Fi. As you know, they have demonetized so much of everything in this world because, they're just going to starve out the little guys until we all acquiesce. But that's never going to happen. And do check out Medicinal Foods, a very small company by good guys. Lots of stuff that could help your health, help you detox and boost your immune system. Make sure you use coupon code EEA and you get a discount. It does also support the channel. Keep sharing the vids. Keep sharing them wherever we can before we get locked down even more. And God bless and namaste.
Namaste.